Hey, the pace is just going to pick up now, Aaron. We're gonna have a great performance now from a show called Sweeney Todd.
So we're back on theater.
Back on theater again. Great pleasure to welcome to our couch Hal Simons, who is director of the show. He's a choreographer, an actor himself, at Musical Theater Southwest. Hal, I've heard about you a lot. First time I've met you. Thanks for coming down this morning.
Thank you.
Great to have you on. Well, Sweeney Todd, you ever seen the show?
I've never seen the show, but I know the story. So this is very cool. So tell us a little bit about the show and if you have a different take on it.
Okay. It's the story of a barber who's wrongfully imprisoned because the judge sort of sets his sights on the barber's wife and then casts her aside and adopts their one-year-old daughter. And yeah, it's pretty twisted. Yeah. The barber breaks out of prison and finds all this out from his neighbor, Mrs. Lovett, and seeks revenge and ends up doing away. When he can't do away with the judge, he does away with whoever's handy, and his neighbor thinks of a way to dispose of the remains that increases profits, you know.
Yeah.
So it becomes a business enterprise.
Exactly. It's a business story. Yeah.
How's the show, how's the audience reacting to the show so far?
Very, very well. Yeah, word of mouth has been great. You know, originally it was done in, I think, what was then the Eurus Theater on Broadway was a 2,000-seat house. We have 100 seats.
Wow.
And so it's in your face, and it's not done in proscenium style where you're just sitting back and watching audiences on either side. So you have no choice but
yeah, you get the full effect.
Now, are you staying true to the original production, or are you kind of adding some little changes to it?
We're not changing any of the script or the score. We've added back a couple of sequences that had to be cut either in previews or during the run.
Okay.
But we've added those back in. And it really is the original show
Great.
in its entirety.
Awesome.
Now, it's been running. You're going to be running weekends through November 10th.
Right.
And what you've brought today is some of your cast to perform for us.
Yes.
Who do we have?
We have, as Sweeney Todd, T.J. Bolin, and as Mrs. Lovett, Kari Reese.
Should we let them do what they do?
Oh, yes, please.
All right, we have a performance for you now, singing A Little Priest, the cast of Sweeney Todd at Musical Theater Southwest.
That's all very well, but what are we going to do about the Italian?
Later on, when it's dark, we'll take him to some secret place and bury him.
Oh, yes, of course, we could do that. Don't suppose there's any relatives going to come poking around looking for him, but... Well, you know me. Sometimes ideas just pop into my head and I keep thinking. Seems a downright shame.
Shame.
Seems an awful waste. Such a nice plump frame, what's his name has, nor it can't be traced. Business needs a lift, debts to be erased. Think of it as thrift, as a gift, if you get my drift. No? Seems an awful waste. I mean, with the price of meat, what it is when you get it, if you get it. Good you got it. Take for instance Mrs. Mooney and her pie shop. Business never better using only pussycats and toast. And a pussy's good for maybe 6 or 7 at the most. And I'm sure they can't compare as far as taste.
Mrs. Lovett, you're a bloody wonder, eminently practical and yet appropriate as always. Mrs. Lovett, how I did without you all these years, I'll never know. How delectable, also undetectable, how choice, how rare, oh, the sound of the world out there.
What, Mr. Todd, what is that sound?
Those crunching noises pervading the air.
Yes, Mr. Todd, yes, all around.
It's man devouring man, my dear, and who are we to deny it in here? These are are desperate times, Mrs. Lovett, and desperate measures are called for.
Here we are, love. Hot out of the oven.
What is that?
It's priest. Our little priest.
Is it really good?
Sir, it's too good, at least. Then again, they don't commit sins of the flesh, so it's pretty fresh.
Awful lot of fat.
Only where it's sat.
Haven't you got poet or something like that?
Now you see the trouble with poet is how do you know it's deceased? Try the priest.
Oh, heavenly! Not as bland as curate, perhaps, but not as hearty as bishop either.
Good for business too. Always leaves you wanting more. Trouble is, we only get it on Sundays.
What is that?
It's fop, finest in the shop. And we have some shepherd's pie peppered with actual shepherd on top. And I've just begun. Here's a politician so oily, it's served with a doily. Have one.
Put it on a bun. Well, you never know if it's going to run.
Try the fryer, fried it's drier.
No, the clergy is really too coarse and too mealy.
Then actor, that's compactor.
Yes, and always arrives overdone. How come again when you have judge on the menu?
No, wait. True, we don't have judge yet. But I do have something you might fancy even better.
What's that?
Executioner.
Have charity towards the world, my pet.
Yes, yes, I know, my love.
We'll take the customers that we can get.
High born and low, my love.
We'll not discriminate great from small. No, we'll serve anyone.
We'll serve anyone
And to anyone at all.
Wow. Very good. That's Carrie Reese as Mrs. Lovett and T.J. Bolin as Sweeney Todd. And credit to our keyboardist, too,
Yes.
Cheryl Sharps. Very nice, very nice. Is this an indication of the rest of the cast? Are they this good?
Yes, they are.
Oh, my
They're
gosh.
amazing.
This
They're
was, that was special.
Now, is there some kind of lesson we're supposed to be learning from this play?
Well, you know, it originally was a cautionary tale told to young children.
Oh.
You know, better be good or Sweeney Todd will get you. And what do we learn from his plight? You know, revenge may not be the best method of retribution. There may be better ways to go about making things right.
Great lesson.
It kind of sounds like a case of karma, too.
It's you know, it's his is an unfortunate story because of what's practiced upon him.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we have another performance.
Do we have another number?
We do.
All right, let's
We
bring
do.
them on.
Okay.
Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around.
Of course not, dear. Why should it?
Nothing's gonna harm you, no sir, not while I'm around.
What did you mean, a man?
Demons are prowling everywhere nowadays.
Certainly they are, dear.
I'll send them howling, I don't care, I got ways.
Of course you do. What a sweet, affectionate child it is.
No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare.
I know what Terry deserves.
Others can't desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there.
Have a nice bonbon.
Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you. Not while I'm around.
Nice.
You have some amazing actors.
Yeah.
They're magnificent.
Yeah, that was Derek Medrano, and he plays Tobias in the
Thank you,
show.
Derek. Great cast. All right, the show, and where is Musical Theater Southwest performing now?
It's at their Black Box Theater on Domingo by the fairgrounds.